8 past 9. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday morning. I'm Jake Hartford.
And I'm John Kass, and we're in for Bruce and Dan, and they're in for Don and Roma. Good luck, Don, today.
Today's the day he has his surgery. You wish to send him a Get Well card, you can go to our website, WLSAM.com, or you can just send him to the email getwelldon@gmail.com. Let's see. We settled the NFL strike.
Well, we did that yesterday. You basically...
We had nothing to do with it.
Oh, come on.
We didn't.
Claim some credit.
I'm not the president.
This is how it's done.
The president claimed credit. He tweeted.
Spike the football.
No.
Go on, Joe Behar. What is her name?
Joy Behar. I'm not going on her.
Let her touch.
Under her, over her, nowhere near Joy Behar.
I don't know about all those images, but just let her touch your hair, like she did to Blago.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We have a lot we're going to get to today, including there's a state where unemployment is at 3%. 3%.
Not only that, but I hear that if you're going to work at a McDonald's in that state, they will pay you a bonus of $300 just to make a quarter pounder.
Yeah, we'll get that, and we're going to talk some other stuff. But first, the news is still dominated by Libya. And last week, I was listening to Rowan Roper, and I think it was Brett Baer was on with them, and he made the comment that after September 11th, they had all the hearings, and the one phrase you kept hearing was, connect the dots, connect the dots.
And the wall.
And the wall. And
the wall being the separation between
all the government agencies.
All the government agencies, so they couldn't talk to each other and know what happened.
And the mindset of the 90s, after they had the first World Trade Center bombing in 93, and then they had the bombing of the Cold, the mindset back then was, it wasn't like a military war type thing. It was law enforcement. Somebody robs a bank here in Chicago, you send a couple FBI agents or whatever out to to investigate. It was like that, and that was kind of the wrong way to go at it. And that's what I thought we learned after all those hearings. Well, the story this morning, and this is, and forget about when the president decided it was a terror attack or not.
I'm not going to forget it.
But put that aside. The thing to me, it's a chilling story. When the bombing in Benghazi happened, I remember that morning saying they were going to send FBI to do forensic work on the crime scene and do investigations. But then later on that day, there was a delay. They said it wasn't safe enough for them to go there. And I didn't understand why they just didn't send in a bunch of our military people, Marines, soldiers. They have good forensics teams. Gosh, NCIS, they got 2 shows on CBS. They must be very good. I'm just joking. The Navy has it. Their criminal investigation. The Army has it. Mm-hmm. They could have gone in, secured the scene, because that's what you needed, security, and secured the scene, got whatever they needed to get.
They also have other agencies that do stuff like this that sometimes don't get mentioned.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want to hold news conferences.
But here's the story this morning. The FBI still has not been at the scene in Benghazi. They've gotten as far as Tripoli. This is, 15 days after? They've gotten as far as Tripoli, and apparently what's going on, what the reports are, there's infighting. There was infighting going on between the Justice Department and the FBI on one hand, and then also infighting with the State Department on the other. So they're finally in the country. They're in Tripoli. They've not been to Benghazi. They've been granted permission by the State Department to interview State Department employees, but they cannot go to Benghazi, to the scene, to do the forensics, and they cannot interview any of the people that the Libyan government picked up after the attack.
Well, there's 3 departments you mentioned. One is run by President Hillary Clinton. She's the one who's actually meeting with state leaders while Barack Obama goes golfing or holds fundraisers. She's the one who meets with the international leaders. Then you have the FBI, which is the FBI. And the third is the Justice Department. Last time I checked, run by a political appointee named Eric Holder, who has the Fast and Furious problem and other things. I would suggest, just not even being there, that maybe politics has something to do with this, huh, Jake?
I would hope not.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I know wishes and hopes, candies and nuts, or whatever the heck that
I mean,
is.
you had the ambassador killed, number one, but you also had 3 other American citizens killed along with him.
Mm-hmm.
And to say in this day and age, 15 days after, for bureaucratic reasons, the FBI is still in Tripoli is crazy. It's unbelievable. They should have a hearing on this. I know they have hearings on everything in Washington. They should have a hearing on this. Somebody's head should roll.
There could be some reasons why they're not there. They might be working in Libya for other, on this thing. I really don't know.
Why can't they interview the people that were picked up by the Libyan government?
If they interview the people that were picked up by the Libyan government, then what will happen? Will they just have to read them their rights and send them to Guantanamo and let them have chicken sandwiches? What happens then?
Dave in Chicago. Dave, you're on 89 WLS.
Hey, I'm just kind of disappointed in this conversation this morning. I don't know why you're always so quick to say, hey, let's just send some more troops over there. We're on 2 fronts now, and if you watch,
I'm not talking 100,000 troops, Dave. I'm talking maybe a couple hundred people.
It doesn't matter. We're stretched to the limit now. If you watch the 10 o'clock news, they had the Indiana National Guard come back from Afghanistan with 4 troops killed.
Dave, wait, Dave.
Hold on,
Dave.
Hold on, both of you. If you read my column, you know that I wrote an entire column on we don't want to send more thousands of troops over here, and Jake wasn't saying that either. All we're saying is get on it. What Obama's been doing here is saying it's not terrorism, it's the video. Then they change. You know why? Because if he says the word terrorism, it's a political disadvantage to him. So there's a lot of politics going on. I don't mean to cut you off, Dave, but that's how I feel on it.
9:15, time for 89 WLS traffic.
89 WLS.
9:16, yeah. Jake Hartford, John Kass in for Bruce and Dan. I wasn't talking about invading the country.
Right.
I'm talking about sending in enough Marines or soldiers to secure the area, secure the embassy, the consulate, whatever, and then allowing the military forensic teams to gather whatever forensics they need to get.
The problem being in a country that really the government doesn't control it, sending military there could be construed as undermining them as well. I mean, it's difficult. There's no easy answer, but my gut feeling would be with you to send Marines there, secure the area, and damn the politically correct nonsense.
And get in, get out. But when you read stories now of, the Justice Department is not feuding, but they're kind of going back and forth with the FBI on this, and then they're going back with the State Department. It's bureaucratic games they're playing. And they're never going to solve anything or get to the people that the president said he wants to get who did this.
What he wants to get is the guy who did the video. Didn't they go grab him, arrest him, and put his face on CNN so all the terrorists can find him?
Well, South Central L.A., I don't know if that's more dangerous than Libya. Ralph in Mokina. Ralph, you're on 89 WLS.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, what's the point for the FBI to head over there? It's a little bit like any sort of evidence would have been collected. There's been a football game played on it, and then after that, it's been rained on, and it's all run to the gutters. At this point, the only thing that you could do is hold hearings in the state about how feckless and politically corrupt and everything else the Bamster administration is. Of course, headed up by Eric Holder and all the other supposed justice, the people looking out for justice and law. And, John, I mean, I like the idea of sending in the Marines, but you'd have to probably land an expeditionary force to make sure that they could get in and get out without having to just play shoot 'em up.
Yeah, because once they were in there, they'd be the targets, right?
But if you remember, Ralph, as soon as this happened, they announced they were sending to the area a big Marine expeditionary force, and they also sent a couple ships there.
Well, announcing it and then planning to use it are two different things, aren't they?
I guess. Thank you, Ralph. But they can still.
It's all the video, Jake.
I know they can
Listen to Obama.
I'm sorry. Hector in St. Charles. Hector, you're on 89 WLS.
Hey, when we took out Osama bin Laden, President Eye Candy made it sound like he was the one over there pulling the trigger. Why isn't he over there investigating this and making sure that this is all taken care of?
Two things I got to say. One, good question, but the main thing is you said President Eye Candy, and I'm taking it. Can I take it? Because I'm going to use it now. That is a good one, I have to say. President Eye Candy.
Mike in Orland Park, you're on 89 WLS, Mike.
Hey, guys, at the risk of sounding like a liberal, I'm gonna quote an article from another liberal, Pat Buchanan, about the bigger picture of this whole Libyan debacle, and that is, why are we even there? These neocons can't get enough of poking the hornet's nest of radical Islam, and look at what it's done for us. Look at what our great exploits in Iraq and Afghanistan have done. Now we're spilling into Syria.
Wait, Mike, are you calling President Obama a neocon?
Absolutely. What's the difference? And here's the thing, I'm calling them all neocons. What is the absolute difference? Obama, it's like three-card Monty out there. Everybody's like, ooh, we should send the Marines. Send the Marines to what? What are we? You know what? Ronald Reagan, the conservative that many love to quote, what did he do when 200 American lives were lost in Lebanon? He got out of there. He saw it was a waste of absolute time and energy. We got to get out of the Middle East. We have our own problems here. For all of you who tout these public pensions and the endless drones of money going in them, please tell me, in 10 years of these wars, like the idiot neocon McCain said will be there for 100 years, what have you netted? Is it a better Middle East? No. Are the Christians being slaughtered in these countries? Yes. You've popped this hornet's nest through interventionism, called people like Ron Paul fools. But please show me the evidence where your thing is right.
Okay, I guess we don't need the evidence, and the people who killed the ambassador and the 3 Americans, they can all go free.
I think they should have their heads cut off, but I think that the caller has a point that the more we push into these areas, we got to think of why we're doing it and what's the end game.
9:21 back after this.
89 WLS. Bruce Wolf and Dan Proft, Chicago's talk leader. 89 WLS.
9:29. Jake Hartford and John Kass.
In for Bruce and Dan.
Hey, how about those White Sox, huh? It's over.
It's never say that, although no one ever expected them to be in it. Okay, let's be honest. So they're played great, and they're not playing great. What do they lose? 11 out of the last.
They have been in first place since July 23rd.
Kind of going.
Now there's 7 games left, and they're 1 game behind. And they've lost 6 out of 7. It's ever since they announced the playoff tickets were going on sale last Friday, they've been losing except for 1 game.
I noticed that, and I was hoping that the Fire, which is all trying to get in, and they're going to be in the playoffs, announced their playoff tickets as well. And I'm thinking, guys, maybe we shouldn't wait till everything's good before you announce that.
Anyway,
it's like kind of jinxing it.
Anyway, that's kind of depressing this morning. But we have an answer. The government is roaring back. The kids are boycotting their school lunches. Well, the government has a solution. And these are the same people who want to run our health care. We'll talk about that and more. It's 9:30 right now on 89 WS. Time for you.
Your common sense election headquarters. 89 WLS.
9:37. You know what today is? Today's Thursday, and that means the WS box office opens every Thursday, giving you a chance to win tickets to an upcoming show or event. Later today, we have your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Chris Isaak on Saturday, November 24th at the Chicago Theater, courtesy of Nightlight Promotions. Tickets are on sale now at all Ticketmaster outlets and online at Ticketmaster.com. Hooray! Jake Hartford, John Kass. In for Bruce and Dan.
Jake, I'm hungry. I feel like a snack.
Before we move on to other things, we've been talking about how the new law that was signed into law in December 2010 and is being fully implemented this year in schools, the lunch program, which is to cut down calories and eat healthier.
It's basically starve the kids so they'll lose weight.
A maximum of
Obama.
Yeah, maximum of 650 calories for elementary school kids. Middle schoolers are 750. High schoolers are at 850. And students around the country are boycotting the food.
I'm just telling you that last night on their soccer team, the boys had a pig roast. Okay, so after they ate everything else, then they ate an entire pig. And when you have teenage boys, they get hungry, Mrs. Obama. They're not just sitting down.
Well, DCFS is going to visit you.
Come on. Bring it.
So 3 things with the food. Number 1, it doesn't taste good. Number 2, the kids say there's not enough of the food. And number 3, it's overpriced. They've raised the prices.
Number 4, they throw out the food that they have to take that they don't like. And number 5, they don't have anybody in the federal government who could cook because what do? Boil beef, chip beef, what?
And that's the point. They have to give them fruit and vegetables, and the kids have to take the fruit and vegetables. So that counts as part of the calories, even though the kids are throwing the fruit and vegetables away, okay?
Now this Secretary of Agriculture, Tom Vilsack, is coming up with the idea, let's have snacks, parents. Why don't you augment our meager diet that we're giving your children? In other words, put a couple sandwiches in there, right?
Rather than revise the guidelines and what they're serving, they're just going to say, well, okay, $8.50 is the maximum, but have the kids bring a snack. And we're going to count the $8.50 as if the kids had the $8.50.
Now, the only mistake with this ridiculous story is that the people who wrote it did not research far enough and go back to the picture of Vilsack in a Winnie the Pooh costume, which I used in a column about him a while back in that Shirley Sherrod controversy. He's wearing a Winnie the Pooh costume on his head, and it looks basically like Winnie the Pooh is giving birth to the Secretary of Agriculture. Which I thought would be a good, illustrator of this problem.
So their solution are snacks. Now, I found a great snack that they can give the kids.
Beef sandwiches?
No, KFC in Japan. You know, different McDonald's and KFCs. They all do different things depending on the country.
Raw chicken wrapped in lettuce
No.
leaves?
This is not a bad one, John. You should try this when you get home to your test kitchen.
I love Japanese food.
What they do, It's a bacon potato fritter. It's called the Colonel's Bacon Potato Fritter. It's mashed potatoes mixed with bacon bits, herbs and sour cream.
And wasabi sauce.
They don't have that in there. Then they batter it and they deep fry it. Doesn't that yum, yum, yum?
That sounds like it'll get you through at least, it'll get a teenager at least through an hour without wanting to eat again.
Well, but it is a snack. They have that going for you.
What a meltdown, okay? The fact is they starve the children revolt, now he says bring snacks.
Yeah.
No. Why don't they privatize the or how about this? You don't want the kids to get fat, you know what you do? Give them cigarettes, okay?
Oh, gosh.
Have a couple Camel filters, kid, and you won't want to, in a black coffee and a newspaper, and you won't want to eat that fried food. How's that? And it's cheaper, and it subsidizes, the tobacco states.
And the other thing they're asking the parents to do is have their kids maybe bring their own lunch, bring extra to eat. But it doesn't have to defeat the whole purpose.
You miss the whole thing. Then they're going to have inspectors who will inspect it and take credits away if they have a banana.
Yeah.
Or a ho-ho.
Now, that's the lunch program. On a real serious note, the Postal Service, they say, is probably going to default this week on a $5.6 billion obligation to pre-fund their retirees' health benefits. This will be the second one in a couple months. The other one was 5.5 last month, $5.5 billion. And Congress is making them stick to the budget.
Congressmen are basically acting like Spaniards and Greeks now.
Well, actually, this is the Congress back in 2006 mandated this. This Congress is trying to get rid of that. Here's what the U.S. Postal Service lost. They lost $5.2 billion in the third quarter of fiscal 2012, which is a little over $2 billion more than they lost during the same period in 2011.
But does that count all the cash that people take out of the Christmas cards?
Oh,
from grandma?
They don't do that.
Oh, yeah, right. Every year, the standard, look, you've done it, I've done it, standard story. Under the viaduct after Christmas, there will be the bags with the cards blowing away in the wind.
Okay.
Come on.
You're such a cynic.
I am not a cynic.
But maybe they just get rid of the Postal Service. People aren't writing enough letters.
Did you ever see The Postman? The movie with...
that was not well received.
A post-apocalyptic movie in which the postman was the hero, Jake. the postman rode a horse and basically rallied the people back to civilization. So don't start dissing the post office.
591-8900 is the phone number. Save the post office, STP.
If they ride a horse, then I'll support it.
944 back after this.
That's terrible. 89 WLS.
952, Jake Hartford with John Kass in for Bruce and Dan. Let's take a quick call, huh, John?
Yes, let's do it.
Ramona in Glen Ellen. Good morning, Ramona.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Ramona, did I ever date you when I was in college? Because I had a girlfriend named Ramona.
No.
Okay, let's go on. What's your question?
Anyway, no, it's more of a statement. I am a mom of a high school football player, and even this morning, he very seldom buys his lunch. He was running late. He did decide to buy his lunch, but he grabbed an apple, a banana, and two what you call, like cereal bars or granola bars.
Yeah, those power bar things.
I got news for you. If you're hungry and you're in high school and you can't figure out a solution to this problem,
yeah, but I think
it's not my obligation to feed every kid to their thing.
I understand, Ramona, but I think the problem is that the government has their solution, and if the kids aren't buying into it, then that's a lot of wasted money.
Of course, it's
do you have a lot of extra money?
Government.
But do you have a lot of extra money in your school district?
Do we have extra? Hell
Yeah.
no. No, but the government the school district doesn't pay for lunches. A lot of that's government lunch program money.
Well,
boy, it's real money.
Ramona, at your house, now Betty, cooks for two athletes as well. I wonder if you two guys had the boys all over together and you were cooking dinner for them, and they decided, you know what, I'll eat the chicken, but I'll throw away the green beans. What would you say? What would you and my wife say as they throw the green beans
You
away?
got to at least try the green beans, because I do have a picky eater. You at least try the green beans. You have to pick something else that's healthy. I don't care if it's a piece of fruit or something else. If you don't get anything else to, at least you eat something sort of balanced. And don't take it if it's on your plate. That's why we have so much waste. Why do they got to give it?
That's the point.
Yeah,
because they force the kids to take it to make their guidelines.
No, they don't force the kids to take it. You bring a lunch.
All right, thank you, Ramona.
Thanks, Ramona.
See, but the point is, when she said that's federal, it's not district money, it's federal money. That's still money. It's taxpayer money.
No, it's Obama money. Obama money. You heard about that.
954 back after this.
89 WLS.
959. Jake Hartford in with John Kass, in for Bruce and Dan. When we come back, we're going to talk about a state where the unemployment is only 3% and also chia pets. All that and more right here in 89 WLS.